I think the conference is great. Obviously not as great as when I put it on a couple years back, but these kids do a good show. My advice for someone who's thinking about attending the conference would be to buy early and often. It's a great show. You should definitely come in. Every year they knock it out of the park. See, something I'd take away from the conference. So Jill Conrath's talk on snap selling was just a great refresher on why you should show up adding value from second one, because after the role play with her boss and her kids and her sales manager and her VP of marketing, and they all had bad news, and suddenly you're the salesperson trying to get her attention, you better be really good. Sales is extremely important in a curriculum for a top MBA program. It's something I felt very passionately about when I was at Sloan. I was really proud to be lucky enough to be one of the founding members of the Sloan Sales Competition, one of the first people to organize the second and third Sloan Sales Conferences, be able to take a class on sales, which is really not very common, unfortunately, yet in business schools. And I think every business school should have it. I mean, that's where the money comes from. So I think that's kind of important. My Sloan education has prepared me to deal with all parts of the organization. I think one of the most overlooked parts of a business school as education is the training that you get by going through cases, and you could do 20, 30 cases a week. You have a minute, 2 minutes to research the client before you pick up the phone and call them. You need to be able to digest their business and spit it right back out in a meaningful way to them in 30 seconds on the phone, and that's something that business school really trains you for. So one of the skills let's say that I was reminded of here at the sales conference was to work with my reps and make sure that they really understand what's going on in their client's world. And again, with Jill Conrath's very graphic presentation of what might be going on in the life of a VP of sales was, I think, a very helpful reminder of this is what I need to be drilling into my reps. You need to talk to these people as if they were this person, because they probably are, and you need to understand that you need to show up with value from second one, or you're going to go into the circular file. So social media is changing the game of sales by raising the bar for everyone. It's not enough to just show up. You have to show up and add value and be an expert from day one. It's not okay to pick up the phone and call someone if you haven't looked up their LinkedIn profile. It's just not. And that's brought the land of sales, or the world of sales, just so much further ahead, because they have to know you before they talk to you. In terms of sales management, it means that you have to instill that value into your reps, where the number one thing that you are doing, you have to be an expert. You have to be an expert in your space. You have to be an expert in your customer. You have to be not just an expert on your own company, but everything else that's going on. And I think helping reps make that transition, and sales professionals have done things in certain ways for a long time, and it's up to you to challenge them and be like, okay, the bar's been raised, now go at it. Yeah, hiring is my number one priority. Number two is developing my current reps, and number three is getting them promoted. So in terms of efficiency in hiring, the best thing that we've done over the last 6 months, a year, is every single person who, before they even come in for an interview, has to do a WebEx presentation to us. It's an inside sales job. We sell over the phone. We sell over WebEx. And salespeople are pretty good at coming in and saying the right stuff, so you might as well see what they're made of first. And the best ones are just phenomenal, and the worst ones are really bad, and it's nice to know that without investing 3 hours, 4 hours of manager's time, when you can do it in half an hour and say, okay, thanks but no thanks, or wow, we need this person now. I'd tell you what LinkedIn would look like in 10 years, but I have to kill you. No, who knows? I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like 6 months from now. So, what I will tell you is that it will be more relevant. It will be more analytical, and it will deliver the insights that you need to run your business on a day-to-day basis. Sure. I think sales management's changing. I think that there's going to be a much stronger focus on coaching, on making your teams better, not just being behind them with a whip. You know, it's not the dog sled model anymore. You have to grow your people. You have to work with them, improve their skills. If it's something you can't do, you have to find someone who can, because as I've said, the bar's been raised, and it's going to continue to go up. And if you're going to be a sales professional, you have to be at the top of your game. And if you're going to manage sales professionals, you have to grow them. It's not just enough to do sales forecasts every week. So what's changing in the sales environment for our company for LinkedIn is that we're just trying to expand. We're trying to expand as quickly as possible, which is probably one of the quickest expansions in corporate history from growing the sales team. And it's really important for us to do that in a way that each rep is more successful this year than they would have been last year. That means more analytics. It means being able to identify top prospects before the reps pick up the phone. Delivering those insights to them has become really critical to what we're doing, because if you have 80 people sitting around trying to figure out who to call, that's a very expensive operation when you need them to be closing X% of the business now. So salespeople use LinkedIn in a couple different ways. I have to admit, I work at LinkedIn. I'm not actually the social media maven. Twitter, I don't know. So if you're really good at that sort of thing, which is phenomenal, it's a great way to connect with your customers. Salespeople will join groups, and the important thing when you join a group, when you engage in any sort of social media strategies, that you have to bring value. You don't join a group and say, hey, will you buy my product or service? Will you buy my product or service? No, stop it. Right? You have to show up, you have to give insights. It's part of being an expert. You have to have expertise that you can put out there into cyberspace so that people will start to get the idea, oh, this is someone I should be talking to. Oh, I have a problem. I should reach out to this person because they can help me. That's one way in which salespeople are using LinkedIn. The other way, and this is what I use LinkedIn more for, is expertise and insights. Who should I be calling? Who should I be talking to? Where are my top prospects? If you think about your product, you probably sell to a limited range of titles. What does it mean for a company not to have that title on LinkedIn? Oh, they don't have a business process engineer. Well, then it might be kind of a tough sell. I'm going to have to get them to buy my business process engineering software and a business process engineer, right? So what does that mean to my sales cycle if that title doesn't exist? I should know all of those people across my whole territory. I should know who I'm talking to before I pick up the phone, or even I should know, okay, I'm talking to this person because they put in an inbound lead, but in fact, I think I want to talk to this person's boss's boss. Let me pick up the phone and call that guy first, so I can get the sales cycle rolling with someone higher level. Then I'll go back to my inbound lead and pump him for the information that I'll need to work both ends of the deal and to get this company the product they need. So that's some of the stuff that you can do on LinkedIn. And the insights you can even just get from the hiring and people flowing in and out of companies, I think is top notch. Who's posting jobs on LinkedIn? Is it because they're growing, or is it because they can't keep the people they have? those are two very different states of being, and you might have something that could target both, or you really want to focus one, or you want to focus on the other, but you should know that before you pick up the phone.